All right, well, speaking of the USL, it brings us to our first football versus soccer of this show. Of course, the USL, the second tier here in the United States. Herc, which country do you think needs promotion relegation more, the United States or Mexico?
Mexico, and
why?
I don't even think it's close, Seb. I will tell you why. You look at a country like Mexico that its football is over 100 years of history, and how it's reliant, the communities within those cities are reliant on its football. The hope and aspirations of getting to first division so that franchise is worth more, so those jobs are worth more, whether it's first division as a player, whether it's a coach, or even equipment managers down to the groundskeeper, down to the communities that sell everything around the game day atmospheres. They are dependent, they are reliant on that ability. When a club gets relegated, Seb, it's not just the player who suffers. It's not just the coach who suffers. It's not a loss in income. It's a loss in jobs for those communities. And when you get promoted, the same. It's a reverse effect, adverse effect. All of a sudden, you have an injection of life, an injection of money. They are dependent on them. It's their way of life. In the U.S. and Canada, or I should say the U.S. in this question, you've never had promotion. You've never had relegation. You don't know what it's like to all of a sudden lose the opportunity to be in first division and have it taken away from you, and your livelihood is on the line. They've survived that way. Mexico, with the pause in relegation, it's caused turmoil. It's caused a loss of jobs, a loss of income for players and families. It's not like
that's all
this
well
here.
and fine. That's all well and
It
fine.
is.
Let me ask you this. Where are you going to find the owners for all these new teams that you want to promote and relegate down in Mexico? We already have multipropiedad. We already have one ownership group owning multiple teams. Do we have enough ownership groups in Mexico, viable ownership groups, to institute something like promotion
second
relegation?
division? Yes. A plethora of third and second division ownerships. That's what they want to do. You want to spend
viable
$4 or $5 million to get a first division team, and all of a sudden have it become a $100 million or plus franchise? That's what the dream is, Seb. Viable? Go down here in USL. Go down here in NWSL. Go in NISA. Go in any type of whatever you want, and tell me if all those franchises are viable. Shouldn't they have the same aspiration, the same dream as everybody else?
I think there's way more viable, one, ownership groups, and two, Herc, and this is very important, media markets in the United States. So the need for promotion relegation, for more professional teams in the United States, for me, is very, very clear.
Yes.
I think it would spur investment in a way that there's already been major investment in Mexican soccer. But for me, the biggest difference, the biggest thing I think they need for is differentiation. Liga MX is always the biggest dog. It's already the biggest thing in Mexico. Clearly, American soccer needs to continue to move up the ranks when you talk about TV, media exposure. Promotion relegation, that's a differentiator. That's drama that you have at the end of your season. That's something you can sell. I think American soccer needs it more.
Yeah, you can sell that to the media. You could even sell that to a few fans. You know who you can't sell it to, apparently? The owners. Those owners you're talking about. All of a sudden, John Kraft, he gone. Anschutz, he gone. The Hunts, no, they weren't even to begin with. You really think they want the risk of losing a $300, a $400, maybe $500 million franchise on a bad year? Yeah, those owners are going to stick around, Seb. You're right.
No, you know what, Herc? It all comes down to the TV money. And if you got more television markets included, you're going to get more TV money. So those owners, they might be willing to risk their little club status in order to get some of the more of that TV money, because that's how you fund a professional league. Ask the NFL, ask the NBA, ask Major League Baseball.
All have promotion relegation.
That's where your money comes from your TV deal. And MLS and American soccer, everybody in American soccer could use a TV deal that pays them a little bit more.
That's what Liga MX does, right?
Where do you think your big salary comes from there, Herc?